Welcome to #Wednesdays Weekly, a weekly information session in collaboration with voluntary sector and public sector partners. Thank you for joining us for today's session on alcohol use in pregnancy, delivered by Louise Whitworth. Over to you, Louise.
Thank you. Thanks very much, Hayley. Hi, everybody. Hope you're all well. Enjoying the Easter. I can see a couple of my peer mentors on as well today, so that's really good. Okay, so I'm going to do a screen share, so I'm going to bring up a presentation. Let's see if I can find it. Okay, guys, can you all see that?
Yeah, we can see that.
I'll take that as a yeah. 1 second. Okay. Right, okay. So you may or may not know much about Acorn and our service. I thought I'd give you a little bit of an introduction about Acorn Recovery Project, who we are, and why we're and what we do, and why we're doing the alcohol use in pregnancy. Okay. So Acorn Recovery, so who we are. So we're a charity that are based throughout the Northwest. We provide support to individuals and families around alcohol misuse and substance misuse. You know, we support families and adults from the age of 18, you know, right up into old age. We provide support in the community, so we provide what's called Tier 3 support, which is community-based support, and that is going into different services and providing support around reduction and motivation to reduce substance misuse, and it links in with lots of different types of recovery models and counselling, and links into sort of obviously the statutory drug and alcohol services, working alongside the services that provide the medicinal, the treatment services. We also provide Tier 4 treatment, which is the residential rehabs. There we do a lot of the counselling type recovery services. So we have counsellors that provide that support, and it is residential, and clients can also attend as daycare clients as well. A lot of our staff, I think it's around 85% of our staff are actually in recovery. You know, so they have that lived experience of being able to share and help, you know, share their experiences with other people and help other people, you know, achieve a life worth living, achieve that life of independence from substances. That's you know, sort of that's one of our main values, you know, of what we offer and how we want to deliver our service, because we believe that, you know, we've got something really, really important that people just get and understand. We have quite a large cohort of volunteers as well, across the board, delivering support in many different areas. Again, a lot of the volunteers have that lived experience in some form. It may be that they're in recovery themselves, and it may be that they've had family members which have needed support around alcohol misuse, and they want to give some of that help back, you know, and sort of be able to use their experience to help other families as well. We like I say, we do that over the Northwest, so we range from pretty much East Cheshire all the way up to Lancaster. We have residential rehabs across the board and community-based support. We're part of a larger group of companies called the Calico Group. You'll see at the bottom it says about our service. So we have a wider range of other support services, domestic abuse services, floating support services, various different services that we can link into as well. Now, the service that I'm providing, I'm the alcohol exposed pregnancy service lead for Acorn. We were commissioned by Greater Manchester Health and Social Care to deliver support in Bury, Rochdale, Oldham and Tameside, and that's around us delivering support to women and their families, partners, anybody that is significant to that lady that needs that support. The support that we provide is to women that are currently pregnant or could become pregnant. So women that are sexually active, are not using contraception, are drinking alcohol, and are at risk of becoming pregnant, or are already pregnant and are at risk of continuing to drink or have drank small amounts in pregnancy. It can vary. So our aim is to raise awareness of the effects of drinking alcohol in pregnancy, what the risks of those are, and the risks of a baby being born with FASD if alcohol use continues throughout pregnancy. And we're also able to support the families around that as well. I've listed here a little bit of information about the different ways in which we're able to offer support. Now, I know I've got a few of the peer mentors on board today. They're listening to this presentation as well. So the peer mentors are people with lived experience, so women with lived experience of alcohol use in pregnancy or alcohol issues, may have had social service involvement in the past, may have had experience of mental health issues, and generally just pregnancy and families and the dynamics and the issues that can come along with that. So we feel it's really, really important that we have women, with this lived experience to help others. And it's so important for that woman and that family that are going through issues around alcohol and drinking in pregnancy, to have that support from somebody else that's got that lived experience, somebody else that's been there and really truly understands what they are experiencing and how they're feeling and what they may be going through, and the stress of having social services and other statutory services involved through their pregnancy, prior pregnancy and after pregnancy as well. We're able to provide support via online services such as Zoom and Teams, WhatsApp. We also provide phone calls, text and email. We do on occasion go out to visit clients as well. I have to do that as part of the service that I provide, because there's court hearings and things like that. We will be moving to a community-based support, being able to give that actual face-to-face, one-to-one support to the women that and the families that we provide that support to. I feel it's really, really important. It's great all the technology that we have nowadays, but there's it doesn't beat sort of that one-to-one support either, does it? That face-to-face support is better than anything. So we will be moving to that, but obviously we'll continue with the virtual support. Obviously, it's not just around alcohol use that we support, with in pregnancy. It can be around social isolation, especially with, we know with the pandemic and we've all had to isolate to some extent, for single parents potentially, that's been even more challenging. And we know that can have an effect on somebody's mental health, and potentially, the misuse of alcohol or other substances. And the effect on the wider family as well. So we're able to provide support around all of that. And it's just general health and well-being in pregnancy, being able to link into other services as well, that are able to provide that community support. We're able to provide support to, like I say, preconception and pretty much all the way through pregnancy and after pregnancy, so it can continue right up to probably 12 months after baby's been born. That can be delivered in various ways, through support of a peer mentor, through support of a counsellor, and that's a weekly based support, a structured meeting that's set up every week to deliver support, receive support, and to be able to have that link into other services. So whether that be perinatal mental health, whether that be smoking cessation, whether that be anything really, social services, we can be the link between all of these services. And being able to, obviously, as things start to ease off, be able to signpost to the baby groups, the mother and baby groups, being able to attend maybe mutual aid meetings if that's something that somebody needs some support around, such as Alcoholics Anonymous or NA, and being able to give that sort of helping hand with that hand holding support around that. We work well alongside the maternity services. That's where we get the majority of our referrals through. So for example, in Bury, Rochdale and Oldham, that's Pennine. So we do have a direct referral system through our contact there. That's obviously something that's working really, really well. We don't only, but what happens is, I'm not sure what you guys are aware of, but when a woman becomes pregnant, she will be booked in for her first antenatal appointment. That's usually around 12 weeks, for 10 to 12 weeks. That she'll be booked in for her first antenatal. At that appointment, she will be she'll go through different health and wellbeing questions with a midwife. One of those will be what's called an Audit C. An Audit C is a combination of questions that asks around alcohol use prior to pregnancy and you know, in the early stages of pregnancy, and looks at that. It generates a score. And depending on the score, that generates a referral through to us. Now, we initially were only taking referrals from people that scored 4 or over. We actually support for women that score less than that, so 1, 2s and 3s, if you know, we feel that, you know, if the midwives feel like they could just do with a bit of information. So it isn't just about sort of giving structured support throughout pregnancy. It's being able to provide information, you know, allowing women to make an informed choice by given the right information, that advice, guidance, and knowledge around the, you know, choices of alcohol use in pregnancy, and if they feel they need more support, we can provide that. So what we know, so we know that women who are pregnant or might become pregnant are being advised by the midwife and the antenatal service that any level of alcohol use can harm their baby. I don't know if you're aware, but the Chief Medical Officer back in 2016 changed the guidelines to, if you are pregnant or think that you could become pregnant, the safest approach is not to drink alcohol at all, to keep risks to your baby to a minimum. So that is the guidelines. There are additional guidelines in the process of being reviewed and updated to the NICE guidelines that will incorporate the changes in this guideline. So no alcohol at all in pregnancy. I think there has been quite a lot of mixed messages for a while, but that's the advice that's being given out now. And it doesn't matter what type of alcohol either. It doesn't matter the strength. Any alcohol can potentially cause risk and harm to the unborn. The baby's brain, if a mum consumes alcohol whilst pregnant, the baby's brain, body and organs are continuously developing throughout pregnancy and can be affected at any time. So there is a risk of miscarriage, stillbirth, preterm, which is early birth, and SIDS from consuming alcohol in pregnancy. I have put on here as well, you may not have seen one of these before, but it's a little fetal alcohol development chart. So it just tells you how a fetus develops throughout the whole of pregnancy and the different parts that are affected or grow, or different parts that grow throughout pregnancy. So you can see if alcohol's consumed at some point in pregnancy, that's how it can affect. With regards to fetal alcohol spectrum disorder, or FAS, FAS is only 10% of children are affected by FAS, and a lot of that is to do with when the baby is exposed to alcohol in the womb. If you can see there, because FAS is to do with the facial features on a baby and how that child will develop and grow. And between sort of the very early weeks and up until week 8, that's the facial features of the baby that's developing, and that if a mum drinks alcohol in the very, very early stages, that's how that can be determined if the child has FAS, one of the things. So fetal alcohol spectrum disorder. I thought I'd give you, there's been quite a lot of training around this recently through Action Together. I thought I'd give you guys a little bit of information around what that is, just in case you haven't heard of it before. So around 3% of children in the UK are thought to have FASD, the vast majority of whom are undiagnosed. However, this is based on modelled estimates. So Dr. Alan Price and Dr. Pennycutt from Salford University are in the process of evaluating research over the past couple of years. They've been going into different primary schools and evaluating children with the permission of families to look at the prevalence and epidemiology of FASD in the UK. Those results are due out around July, I think. So that will give us that'll be the first time that it's ever been done in the UK. So that should give us some really, really good understanding around what the prevalence is in the UK and what that means. It is thought it is, I think autism is around 2% of children in the UK are born with autism. So they're reckoning about 3% of children in the UK are thought to have FASD. Quite a significant number, to be honest. And it will be good to actually have that research. So FASD is an umbrella term for a number of alcohol-related defects, which can be caused by women drinking alcohol during pregnancy. Fetal alcohol syndrome, FAS, is one of them. So alcohol consumption can cause changes in the development of the baby before birth. This is because when a pregnant woman drinks, the alcohol passes directly to the baby. The baby's liver hasn't fully developed yet, so alcohol is not able to be processed as it would an adult, therefore can cause damage to the baby's brain and other internal organs. So it's through having an undeveloped liver, and that liver continues to grow throughout all of pregnancy. So the body can't process the alcohol that like we would. I've put a little bit of information on here around the effects of FASD. I have discussed with Hayley what I'll do is, rather than going through all of this, we'll be able to send the presentation out to all of you. So you'll have this to refer back to, because it's a lot of information for you all to take in today. So it'll be much easier if you've got that to be able to refer back to. But basically FASD, it can affect the facial features. Like I say, it's only 10% for the FAS. It can also affect heart, obviously the brain development, kidneys, other internal organs. It'll affect issues with memory, difficulties with concentration, hyperactivity, difficulty learning new things. A lot of this can be confused with autism or ADHD, which is why a lot of the time there is a misdiagnosis of autism or ADHD, when in fact it could be FASD if that mum has consumed alcohol at some point in pregnancy, or it could also be a combination of both of those things or three of those things. That you can have children that are diagnosed with several of these conditions. Some benefits of getting an early diagnosis. So I know the question does get asked quite a lot. I know through the training that's been on the past couple of weeks around FASD, a lot of carers are asked, what would be the benefit, how does that help if they've already got a diagnosis of autism or ADHD? Is that not just going to be enough to get the support that child needs? But it is really, really important that children are given that diagnosis of FASD. How it affects and the support that they need is different. There is additional support that they will need. And it also gives you a really good idea of why children become, when they become adults, why they may go on to behave the way that they do, and the different impact that may have on them becoming an adult. For example, homelessness and problems, with criminal justice, getting in trouble with the law and things like that. And then they're understanding quite a lot of it's thought, I think in America, I think the research is estimating about 30% of the population of the prison population has FASD. So that's something that's quite a stark figure, that really. I've put on here as well for you guys some resources, so some information around the links. So there's a couple of websites there. So obviously our website, and that's for peer mentors. So anybody that's interested in becoming a peer mentor, follow that link. If you'd like a bit more information about our service, and how we are able to support. There's a link on there. Drymester is a website. It's also on the social media. That's a really, really good support for anything to do with pregnancy, and the support that you can give a loved one in pregnancy as well. Really useful information on there, and that's been developed by Greater Manchester Health and Social Care. It's been a really, really good campaign, and it's been nominated for quite a lot of awards as well to do with the social media. I've also listed some of the FASD clinics and support that is available throughout the UK for that as well. My details are on the back page, my email address and my telephone number. I will also be able to send out to you a referral form. If you would like to fill in that, that's absolutely fine. Not everybody completes a referral form. I have a lot of services that will phone me and have a chat with me about somebody that they've got that may need some support, and then I'll just pick it up from there with just a telephone number and take the referral myself. I am pretty okay with, you know, whatever makes it easier for you guys to get referrals over to me. I think that's pretty much covered the presentation. The information is on there about, you know, the different types of support, like I say, that we're able to provide with. It comes in various, you know, various ways, and you know, but like I say, it can be up to sort of 2-year support really from start to the end of pregnancy, and you know, as children, as the babies become little toddlers. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. So if I'd like to open it up to questions